and we are good to go. So my name's Corinne. I'm part of this team of lovely ladies here with me. We are the customer advocate team, and I'll just go through quickly. We have Christy, who you just met, welcoming everyone in. We also have Georgette, Alex, Lace, and Lucy, who will all be helping us walk through some of the features that Flowcode can offer and how you can leverage it within education. So as you can see, this is our agenda for today. We'll first walk through our solution and how you can leverage our product to the use cases. So really the education specific use cases of Flowcode and how you can use it in the classroom, on campus, and just through all areas of education and academics. Then 3, we're going to show you all the different features of Flowcode. So that includes Flowcode, Flow Page, Flow Tag, and our analytics. And then 4, we're going to have a Q&A. So as we walk through, just feel free to put in your questions in the Q&A box. And then also feel free to call out anything in the chat if you have any feedback or input as we go through. I'll be monitoring that as well.
All right, very good. Passing it over to me, I'm going to start by just kind of explaining Flowcode at a high level and about our solution, but I am just going to launch a poll just so I have a general understanding of the attendees who are on, how many of you guys have Flowcode accounts and how you guys are using it. So I'm going to launch that now, if you guys don't mind answering some of those questions. Okay, awesome. So it looks like right now there's a good mix of people who do not have an account, who do have an account, and people who are also using QR codes, but not using Flowcode. So this is a great just intro call. So I'll start kind of like by just introducing Flowcode as a platform. So Flowcode is a next generation QR solution. I like to say that we're really a data and attribution platform kind of hidden behind a QR code, because there are so many benefits to your Flowcode account that go way beyond just connecting people to your digital presence. So as you can see here from this slide, we're working with 68% of the Fortune 500 companies. We have over 3 million creators. We were named as one of LinkedIn's top startups last year. We've made over 350 million connections and are live in 100 plus countries. And here's just a snapshot of some of the brands that we're working with and highlighted some of the really large schools that we're in as well. So what differentiates Flowcode from the standard QR code? So first of all, as you guys can see here, our codes are really highly designed. It really is one of our biggest differentiators because we have a whole team that's dedicated to QR design. We really lead with that. And we're the only QR code that implements brand and logo in such a highly designed way. So if you're working in a big school, a small school, but you have a logo and you really want it represented on your QR code, then we're definitely the platform for you. One thing that we found is because our codes are so highly designed, it usually attracts designers to have a tendency to want to feature them more. So with that black and white square code that are usually like tucked in the corner of creative, with our flow codes, you can really make it a main event in part of your creative if you guys are using it for call outs, for marketing, for fundraising, which will obviously lead to a higher scan engagement. All of our codes are also dynamic. What this means is that when you set up a QR code on the Flowcode platform and you have it go to one scan destination, if you decide at some point in time that you want to change that scan destination on the back end, you can do that at any point in time. This is really, really important because it mitigates the need to, create a new code or print all of your materials over again if you are changing out the scan destination. And it also allows you to, repurpose codes that you've already used. So if you had a fundraising event last year where you have a big code on, a business card or a flyer, you guys can always reuse that and just change the scan destination. Point number 3 is data. Like I said, I really think that this is a huge part of what makes Flowcode such an important platform. You get to understand things, and Georgette will go through this a little bit later, but you get to understand, marketing attribution, engagement, what calls to action are working, what education techniques are working. There's a ton that you can see on the platform. We're also fully privacy compliant. So there's a level of assurance that you get in working with us that no data collection guidelines or boundaries will ever be crossed, which is extremely important in an industry like education specifically. Managed service, we like to say that we're more than just a platform. There's a face behind every Flowcode. As you guys can see here, you see all of our faces. We're always here, no matter what account level you're at, free to paid to enterprise. We're here to support you. We're US based, here to make sure that you guys are having a successful Flowcode experience. And then quality assurance, another huge thing. So, we have strict QA compliance that we go through as a company. Every Flowcode is completely scannable. We test every color, we test every device type, so that you're safe to know that if you're putting your code anywhere from in your classroom to a huge TV campaign, we're never going to let you down there. And that's kind of the whole Flowcode portion. Outside of that, our biggest differentiator, in my opinion, is also Flowpage, which you have access to on the platform as well. And I'm going to pass it over to Georgette, but before I do that, I am just going to launch another poll to see if anyone is using Flowpage. So let's launch that now. Or if you even know what it is. And if you don't have an account, you probably don't, but that's why you're here. Okay, great. So we got a lot of, no, I'm not using Flowpage, and what is Flowpage? So I'm going to pass it over to you now, Georgette.
Thanks, Christy. Awesome. So Flowpage is essentially just another great way to engage with your students or your faculty. This essentially can serve multiple purposes, especially in the education space. So what is a flow page? Great question. It's a custom landing page allowing you to host all of your content in one place. You can host files on here, like a syllabus, any documentation that you'd like, links to an online portal or to your website. You can even go as far as embedding videos, photos on here, and honestly, any other educational resources that you'd like to put on here. It's a great place for that. Flowpage is also a great way or alternative to a business card. So we like to call this your virtual kind of business card. And if you look over to the right side, we have a fellow educator. Her name is Ainsley Hill. This is her Flowpage, and she likes to use Flowpage to just post things like her email, her social media on there, and even an opportunity to add an option for CRM or collecting contact information. And we'll go to the next slide. And then to kind of sum up our full suite here, so Christy did a great job kind of explaining Flowcode, of course, the core of our product, really the doorway to the online world, dynamic codes, ultra fast scanning, they never expire. And that's our promise here, in addition to privacy. And then of course we pair it, connect a Flowcode to a Flowpage, connecting the offline now onto the online world. Again, the Flowpage being your digital ecosystem. And then all of this together is trackable through data and analytics. And I'll go through, of course, all the detail, what each plan includes with data and analytics, but everything between Flowcode and Flowpage is trackable. And that's it. I'll pass it off to Lace for some use cases in the classroom.
I do see people are starting to put some questions in the Q&A form. Just one call out. If you do have questions, feel free to put it there throughout. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll answer all the Q&A.
All right. Thank you, Christy, Georgette, and Corinne. So my favorite use case in the classroom is to waste less paper. As you see in the example here, the teacher has a code scan saying, welcome back to school. You can have a code of that size or smaller, whatever you choose, to scan for homework, scan to the link for a test, scan for summer reading lists, scan to incorporate games and scavenger hunt to make learning even more fun and interactive for your students. Offer an easy way to connect with students and parents using Flowpage. As Georgette touched on, it is your digital business card. And you can also include links to schedule appointments and parent-teacher conferences. If you use scheduling links already, like Calendly or anything like that, you can incorporate those links into your Flowpage to make it a very seamless, easy experience. And I'm going to pass it off to Lucy.
As a student, there's so many ways to optimize Flowcode. It is easier now than ever to get involved in clubs, student body government, and other school organizations just by a scan. Another great benefit is that the stressing of buying game day sports tickets is over. With Flowcode, you are able to get tickets to all upcoming events and any other arts performances or showcases at your school in just a few seconds. Flowpage is also a great feature for all students, but especially school tour guides and orientation leaders. Having a page where visitors and incoming students can find important resources and their guides' contact information is so essential. Now passing it over to Alex.
Thanks, Lucy. I'm going to be talking about school fundraising and marketing. So for track marketing, attaching a unique flow code to a marketing effort is a great way to understand what campaign and which codes are getting attention, and it's also a great way to measure. Each piece of marketing material is measurable because each code is unique. Unique flow codes are a specific way in knowing what codes people are paying attention to. So event fundraising, there's 3 possible ways to integrate Flowcode to fundraising efforts. So before the event, you can use Flowcode to gain interest and make people aware of the event itself and why they should give. During the event, you can use Flowcodes to further engage attendees and share depth of information of specific topics and providing additional information to support fundraising efforts. Instead of printing multiple pamphlets, just scan the code. If there's a typo on your fundraising page, no problem. That S can become a T within minutes of your event. Post fundraising, you can analyze the contributions and how to better connect with contributors moving forward. Alumni fundraising. We have a really easy to engage platform, so it's a simple step to engage alumni and get them involved. They can retain and build. So after scanning, alumni are able to stay engaged and create greater affinity with your fundraising efforts. Consistency is key. Ongoing community. Alumni can connect with other alumni through shareable processes, as well as linked out communities. And then this next slide just shows a few more different use cases for flow code placement. You truly can put a flow code anywhere.
Thank you, Alex. So talking through some additional features that you guys will find on the Flowcode platform. First is Flow Tag. This is a super useful item that you guys can, we're going to give you guys access to at the end of the presentation. Basically, this is a great use for a business card if you guys want to use it for your student body, and just even as like a teacher or a faculty member, it replaces the need for business cards. So put this on the back of your phone. I have it on the back of my phone here. If I'm at a conference or a networking event, someone can either tap my flow tag or they can scan my flow tag and automatically they'll be connected to my flow page. My personal flow page has things like a way to connect with me on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. It has information about where I work, more information about Flowcode, flow page, how to get in contact with me. So on a personal level, it's a great way to easily connect with your colleagues, with students, and at networking events. At a school level, having a branded flow tag that you guys can give out to your students. One, it puts your school logo out there. It's on the back of every student's phone. Your brand look is now everywhere. You know, it's gone beyond even the campus. And on your guys' side, you're able to understand adoption and use of flow tags with data and analytics. So you're able to see how many people are activating their flow tags, who's using it, what are they using it for, and understand interaction data, like who's clicking on what links. We actually, like Georgette had mentioned before, we have a great advocate in Ainsley Hill, a teacher who had been, actually we found her because she was putting her flow code on the screen of her phone, so that when she went to networking events, people could scan it and it would go to her digital business card. We had gotten in touch with her and told her about Flow Tag. I'm going to play a short video of just kind of her experience with it and how she found it as a great solution.
What's up? I created a digital business card for my phone wallpaper for FETC and I posted it on Twitter. People went crazy. I saw so many cool designs and I was overwhelmed by the response. I've been using my digital business card for some time now, and I've had a couple of problems with it. One, I had to use 3 different programs to make it. And 2, the notifications on my screen keep blocking my Flowcode to connect with others. Flowcode actually reached out to me and told me that there was a better solution. A flow tag is a Flowcode that goes on the back of your phone, or you can put it on the back of your badge for a quick, easy connection. It's linked to a Flow page with all of your links, social media, or your website. You can put your contact information, your email, and people can download your contact card straight into their phone. You can either scan it or you can tap it too to get the information. The best part about it is that not only does it come in different colors, but it is free right now for a limited amount of time. So if you're
I'll pause there, but you guys kind of get the idea. She started using Flow Tag. She had a great following. We've had a lot of teachers and schools adopt it since. Schools that now are almost like requiring all of their teachers be using it so they can easily connect with not only each other, but their students as well as parents.
What's up? I created.
All right, and I'll take it away for data and analytics. So Christy kind of prefaced this before, and I mentioned it earlier, but all Flowcode and Flow pages are trackable through real-time analytics, meaning that as soon as you get a scan on your Flowcode or a click, that data will show right up in the analytics dashboard. If you're currently on our free plan, you'll kind of notice you'll have a little bit of a preview to analytics. You'll be able to see kind of holistic all-time scans, all-time clicks, but the Pro and Pro plan will really kind of unlock kind of a greater dashboard. You can start to see scans by date, day of the week, time of day, and even the device type. So whether they're an iOS user accessing your content on desktop, Android, etc. All of this data is really meant for you to kind of help adapt your strategy as you continue to leverage Flowcode and Flow page. And if data and analytics is even more important to you, I really encourage you to scan this Flowcode. This will actually unlock and give you a preview of our full reporting dashboard that we do offer with our ProFlex and Enterprise plans, if that is something that's interesting to you. And this will really just show you the drill down data, even by geolocation. So now you can really see where scanners are engaging with your content as well. And then, of course, we always have some exciting features with our pro plans and above. I'll touch through this kind of briefly, but Smart Rules is basically teaching you how to redirect a single flow code to multiple locations. And the best example I like to give for this is if I'm a restaurant owner and I have a brunch menu during the Sunday between the hours of 9 and 12, and I need to redirect customers to my dinner menu, I can easily program my flow code so that I don't have to manually swap out the code, based on the time of day or day of the week. So if you guys are running anything from an education perspective, Monday through Fridays are the traditional school hours, maybe you want to redirect them, to the teacher's email on the weekend, and maybe, the teacher portal Monday through Friday. So just an education example there. And then bulk creation. So naturally, when you kind of sign up for Flowcode, the idea might be, oh, I only need one code. And then suddenly we get code crazy, and we highly encourage that, which is why we kind of built this tool. But basically, bulk creation allows you to create up to 50 flow codes at one time and up to 1,000 with the Pro Plus plan. And really the why behind this is to save time. So if you have one beautiful flow code design and you need to create a code for all of your students, rather than going one by one, you can now bulk create these codes. Again, either 50 at a time or 1,000 at a time, and thus track the analytics for all of these. And then overall with Flowcode, you will always get unlimited scans with us. The codes never expire as long as you have a living and breathing account with us. And again, these codes are dynamic, so you can change the destination at any time. Also with the Pro and the Pro Plus plan, I'm sure you guys have noticed by now, there were some beautifully designed codes on these slides, and that service is actually factored into the Pro and Pro Plus plan. You'll have an in-house artist design a flow code for you and your brand, and then you can put that beautifully branded code out into the world. Flow pages we touched on, again, highly encourage that customizable landing page. You can connect that page to a flow code. You can put it in your link in bio, and then you can really start tracking the most popular link clicks on your page as well. And then lastly, of course, there's a human behind every flow code, behind every flow page. We offer email support. Email us with any questions, even if you just want to chat, need some inspiration, best practices, tips and tricks. We are always here, and we will follow up with a link to our calendar so that you do have access to that.
We also host twice a week interactive demos, so you guys can always join. One of us is always giving a demo of the full site, reminders on best practices, how to create codes, how to create flow pages. And like I said, it's interactive. So if you ever have any questions specific to how to, change the color of a link or how to upload a photo or something like that, that's what those are meant for. Okay, great.
I see a few questions that have come in as we've gone through the, just walk through all the use cases and everything, so we can kick off the Q&A. But oh, sorry, Christy. So the first question is, why is Flowpage better than my school website? So one of the ways that you can really leverage the power of the Flowcode platform is through Flowpage. You're able to showcase all your different things. So all your social media and communication, you can collect that contact information and really connect with people on a personal level rather than just sending people to your generic school website. And you can also get the analytics from it as well. So within your dashboard, as Georgette had pointed out, you have access to how many people are going to that page, how many people are scanning and then clicking on that content. You can then see what they're engaging with so that you can curate the content on the back end. Let's say that you're getting a decent amount of people clicking on your Calendly link. Maybe you should think about hosting more parent-teacher conferences or things like that. You can really curate your teaching style based on that. And it's really helpful in that way. Does anyone else have any call outs for why Flowpage might be better than just a regular website?
I will say that Flowpage is really created to be mobilely optimized. So if you're scanning a flow code, you're clearly on your phone and you want that experience to be really easy to use for the consumer. And that's how Flowpage was created. It's like all of your resources in one place, very easy to navigate on a mobile device. So, if you're doing this for, let's say, a fundraising effort specifically, you clearly don't want to just send them to your website and then have it be like they have to navigate their way through your website to figure out how to donate money. You as a school want that to be a really easy step for them. So it's a great way to just lay out all of the resources that you want in one place.
Great. Well said, Christy. So another question that we have is, what is the best way K through 12 teachers can use Flowcode on a daily basis for their students? So some of the great ways that you can leverage it are within the classroom. So as some of the pictures we showed highlighted, you can have it on the board so people can interact with and engage with the resources that you want them to choose from. So if you want them to choose one of the activities that you're having, you can put it up on the board at the front of the class. You can have it on desks if you want them for individual students, so that you can see who's engaging with the content and make sure that everyone's on the same page, everyone's participating. Some people aren't as big of fans as speaking up in class as others, so that could be a great way to measure participation. Anyone else have any specific call outs that they want to address as well?
Yes, I love that the codes can be linked to audio files. So when the students are doing sort of self-paced learning, maybe they have their headphones on, the code can link to an audio file to help with pronunciation of, or just guided learning on an individual level.
And along with that, Lace, there are also the video capabilities. So if you ever want to record yourself doing something specific, as you mentioned, the self-guided learning is really, really becoming more popular nowadays because everyone learns at their own pace. So having the option to showcase different teachings and different lessons on video, if anyone needs extra help and you don't have as much time to cater to each of those students, you can showcase a video of you walking through the lesson a little bit slower paced so that people can really grasp the concept.
Mm-hmm. My mom's a second grade teacher and she uses Flowcode in her classroom. All of her students are actually given iPads or tablets. So it's really easy for them to go through a lesson plan, and it's super interactive, and they use games and things like that. So to Lisa's point, it's like super useful for her.
Yeah, and to make it fun, you could also think about like a scavenger hunt throughout your classroom or throughout your building if they're allowed to go outside the classroom, just different ways to engage people, because sometimes it can be quite daunting and dulling to just read a book, and having this extra activity to do is quite fun for especially younger kids. All right, another question that we have in the Q&A is, can I duplicate my flow page? Yes. So with our pro plans, you're able to duplicate up to 10 pages at a time. Let's say you created something for your classroom, or you wanted to create a unique one for each of your students. You're able to duplicate up to 10 at a time. It'll replicate the look, the feel, the links, and all the pictures that you put into it. And all you have to go in and is change the links if you wanted to swap any of those out. But this way you don't have to start from scratch, and you have a foundation and sort of a template to go off of. Another question that we just got in, with the Pro Plus account, what analytics do you get? The scan went to an enterprise example, which for a public education school district may be too costly. And are there any types of discounts for educational entities? Yes. So with Pro and Pro Plus, you have access to scans by date, and you can range the view of that to see it within the last 7 days, the last 30 days, the last 90 days, the last 365 days, and then custom date ranges. So if you were looking at specific quarters or specific weeks where you were doing a certain activity, you could look at it through that lens, as well as scans by device type to see what different devices children are using in your classroom. Next, we highlight the days of the week that are the most popular. You might find that obviously Monday through Friday are most popular, but you can see specifically which of those is getting the most engagement, the most interactive. And then we also show by time of day. So you can see what time is really getting the most engagement, and then curate it based on that. As we had highlighted, there's the smart rules, which allows you to curate the destination of your code based on time of day and day of the week. So you can really get creative with how you want to curate that content and really deliver to your students to engage them the most that they can be. Next, we have, what are the best materials to include codes on? So funny you should mention that. We actually have a template store, which provides a bunch of different formats for you to include your code on, whether it's posters, flyers, table tents. We also have coasters and stickers for the wall, stickers for the floor. As we had mentioned, some of the use cases will have different materials that would be best for them, so that you can really figure out where to put them within your classroom. Sorry, my dog's just barking. Cooper. But really depends on what use case you're using. And then we also have a print store. So if you decide to use a specific template, it'll show you whether you can order it through our print store, or if you could print it yourself or print it through your own printer as well. The last question that we have is, can I link my Flowcode to a flow page? Yes. So once you create a flow page, it'll automatically generate a generic QR code or flow code for you, which will link back to your flow page, but you can also link your flow codes to flow pages as you're going through the creation process. You can also copy and paste the URL of your pages so that you can include it in your email signature or any newsletters that you're sending out, so that people can access it via the web as well, and they don't just have to go through the code itself. So there are multiple entry points to a flow page, but it is worth calling out that you can easily link it to a flow code if you'd like. And I think that's it for the Q&A section. So here is a 1-month free trial of Flowcode Pro on us, just so you can get a feel for it. Feel free to scan that code in the center, which will bring you directly to the page with the promo code automatically attached to it. You can also apply that during checkout, the Education Pro 1. And this will, again, apply that free trial. Sorry about my dog. It is dinner time for him. He clearly doesn't know a webinar is happening. And we also wanted to, oh, he's excited about free flow tags, it sounds like. So if you sign up for Pro, we will send you 1 free flow tag to try on us.
Corinne, if you want, I can take
Yes.
over.
Yes, thank you.
Sounds like you have a hungry dog there. And then this is just an invitation to join our Facebook creator community. We have an active Facebook creator community right now. You know, Georgette and Corinne are in there often, answering people's questions, getting feedback where, you know, we love feedback. We have a great feedback loop here at Flowcode. Any features people are looking for, if they're having any trouble, all great things. We have a lot of creators who will even answer your questions, give you their use cases. So if you scan this code here, it will bring you to
Cannot hear you, Christy.
I can take it from here. I think Christy lost her audio, but essentially she was summing up our Flow community. We're always here as a resource for you in our community. You know, you'll have our emails, we'll send our contact information. The learning doesn't stop here with Flowcode, as well as the feedback loop. So any feedback you have for us, whether it's on this webinar or about the product and how to optimize it for your industry specifically, we're always here to help and listen. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Hope you found this valuable, and we hope to see you on the platform.
and we'll follow up with an email if you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll follow up with an email. We'll send this recording out to everyone in case you have colleagues that want to watch it, and we'll summarize how to get that promo code if you missed it, as well as the free flow tag. But thank you guys all for joining.
Thank you.
Fun.